Hey, good morning. Today we are going to evaluate our progress on the 3 minutes scientific topic presentation that will be done in a random order. How we're going to do our session today is that I'm going to call for student's name randomly, and then you prepare your slide presentation. And then for those who are lucky enough to have your session today, you don't need to talk again on Thursday. So basically, if we have time to finish all of the talks today, that will be good. But if not, then we're going to have 2 sessions of 3 minutes talks in today's and Thursday session. Okay, is all students arrived in the classroom yet? Okay, so I've looked at the list of participants. There are 23 students from 24 who are registered to the class. So without further ado, we're going to start. Our first presenter will be Muzaki. Oh, Muzaki is not in the classroom at the moment. So let us move on to Rifka Fikriya.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we could see your presentation. We could see your slide, but could you make it maximize and full screen later on? Yes. Okay. Let me turn on my stopwatch. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you may start your presentation.
Today I'd like to present about the introduction about my paper titled Analysis of Severe Accident in Complex System Reactor Using Moving Particle Semi-Implicit Method. The background of my paper is about serious nuclear power plant accident. There is a 3 accident in reactor nuclear. The first one is 3 Mile Island in 1979. The second is Chernobyl in 1986, and the third is Fukushima in Japan. As an example of 3 nuclear accident, there is I took the 3 Mile Island Unit 2 nuclear reactor accident was the lightest accident because it didn't cause any casualties. This accident was caused by the malfunction of a pump of the secondary cooling system, causing an increase in temperature and melting of the fuel in the reactor core. Although there were no fatality, the TME2 accident still a financial loss. To prevent such an event from happening again, research related to reactor design is did. So the purpose of my paper is to simulate the melting process of the reactor core in complex system, because the uh, uh, the purpose to simulate the melting process of the reactor core in a complex system. Udah, sir. It's
Okay, are you done with your presentation?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Rivka. That was our presenter of today. So after Rivka, we would like to call Nermina as our second presenter.
Yes, sir. I will share screen first. Is the screen is right?
Okay, whenever you're ready, you may start your presentation.
Okay. Okay, sir, I want to start now.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Is it my audio is good
Yeah,
or not?
yes, it is. Please start. Are you muting yourself? Your microphone is mute. Nermina. Nermina. Hello, hello. Is somebody listen to my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear what Nermina's presenting right now?
No.
No, right? Nermina? So can you unmute participant or participant? Okay, do you need to restart your presentation? Okay, oh gosh. Okay. So I think Nermina needs to restart her presentation. Well, her Zoom, I guess. So while she's preparing for the restart of the software, let us move on to the next name. Do we have Muhri Iza in the classroom? Okay, Muhri Iza. Okay, I see in the participant list there are no Muhri Iza. Or is there any Muhri Iza in the classroom using a different username? Okay, if there are no Muhri Iza, let us move on to Balia.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you share your presentation, and whenever you're ready, you may start your presentation.
Okay. Can you see the screen, sir?
Yes. Okay, please go. Please
okay.
start.
Good morning, everyone. I am Bayu Alfata from Physics of Earth and Complex System Research Division in Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences in Institute Technology Bandung. Here I'm going to present about my topic, that is 1D magnetotelluric inversion using artificial neural network method. Okay, I'm going to talk about why I am talking about Earth science, because magnetotelluric is a part of Earth science, and we know that Earth science involves Earth, that is the planet that we are living. So there's many use of Earth science because we can utilize the resources, we can predict the weather, and we can also predict like natural disasters to know the Earth itself, so we can avoid many casualties involving natural disasters, and we can also make the plan of our day ahead better by knowing the weather and knowing the environment, so we know where to plant our crops and make use of the earth resources. The next, I'm going to talk about magnetotelluric. Magnetotelluric is the utilization of using electromagnetic waves. We are penetrating the Earth's surface, and by penetrating the Earth's surface, we can predict what the soil and what rocks are under the surface. By determining the impedance and resistance, you can also know the depth of the zone by using this magnetotelluric. And here I'm going to talk about magnetotelluric inversion, which is a way to model the structure of the Earth through one way, that is the depth, or in XYZ we are using the height. So in this height we will have many models. We can have like model 1 that which is a homogeneous. We have one kind of Earth, and like model 2 and model 3 we had different kind of resistivity under the surface. So we are going to analyze the resistivity and analyze the depth of the resistivity. And I'm going to talk about the artificial neural network, which is the method I'm going to use to do the magnetotelluric 1D inversion. So artificial neural network is like it's a programming where we are determining a model. We are building a model using inputs and outputs. So when we already built the model, using that model, we can also test it on another set of input and outputs, and it will make output accuracy. So using the model, we can test our accuracy. Is it a good model or not? And I am testing the artificial neural network in magnetotelluric inversion to test if it has a good accuracy or not. I think that's about my introduction to my topic. So thank you for your attention and good morning.
Okay, good morning. Still is kind of close to 4 minutes. Okay, so maybe later on you need to do more practice, because the time that you have for your talk today is kind of over 50 seconds, close to 4 minutes. But nevertheless, it is a very interesting topic, and the way that you present is already good. Okay, but it needs more practice so that the clarity and also the flow of the presentation will be a little bit smoother, so that the time consumption will not more than 3 minutes. Okay, thank you, Balia. Let's move on to Nermina. Are you ready now, Nermina?
Yeah, I'm ready,
Okay.
sir. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to this presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nermina. My ID number is 100 to 1851. Today, I'd like to present my research study about sentiment analysis of online learning on Twitter during the COVID-19 pandemic using the Nano-Fiber method. First, I will explain to you about the background. In December 2019, the outbreak of COVID-19 in China was reported. Due to the rapid spread of the virus in the world, on March 2020, World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 virus a global pandemic. World Health Organization reported that more than 52 million people were confirmed positive for COVID-19 and 1 million died in the second week of November 2020. The rapid spread of the virus, the physical contact forced the country to implement social distancing and physical distancing.
Did we lose her?
Yes, sir. I think
Okay.
she
Okay.
is disconnected.
Okay, so I think it will be take a little bit time. Okay, she's starting again.
Okay.
Okay, you may continue.
As a result,
Okay,
yeah.
you may continue.
As a result of this policy, many sectors were paralyzed. One of which was the education sector. In the education sector, this strategy prohibits face-to-face learning and forces all educational institutions to stop the learning process and replace it with online learning. This study aims to analyze public opinion on online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia in September until October 2020. The study used the keywords online learning, school, and lecture, which is filtered by the keywords online learning, on tweets in Indonesian, which were pulled from Twitter and processed using the naive-based algorithm to generate sentiment analysis on attempts on online learning. By using naive-based algorithm, it is easier to classify text documents such as news text or academic text using probability. I think that is all from me. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Thank you, Narmina. Okay, let us move on to the fourth presenter, which is Fadila Salsabila.
Okay, sir.
Okay, whenever you're ready, you may start.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Fadila Salsabila. First of all, I would like to thanks to Mr. Hari Mardika for giving me the opportunity to present my paper introduction, which is titled Determination of Earthquake Shake Proof Zone at Padang City based on amplification value analysis and dominant period analysis using microtremor HVSR method. Next to the background, Indonesia is the most frequent by earthquake point because Indonesia is bound by three distinct major plates in the world, the Eurasian, in the Australian, and Pacific plates. West Sumatra is located on coast of Sumatra, is adjacent to subduction zones, which is the confluence of Indo-Australian and Eurasian tectonic plates. Therefore, West Sumatra is a region with a relatively high earthquake vulnerability, as evidenced by building collapses, landslides, ground cracks, road damage, human casualties, tsunami, and the other natural disasters. Based on the Catalog of Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency, the mainland of West Sumatra has experienced significant and destructive earthquakes 6 times. One, the city has prone-zone disaster of earthquake is Padang City. And the purpose of my research is number one is determine the amplification and dominant period value at Padang City area, and number 2 is identify earthquake prone zones area. Next, I use microtremor HVSR. Why? Because it is effective, inexpensive, and environmentally friendly at a residential area. And then microtremor is usually used in passive seismic 3 components, and this method is carried about by estimating the Fourier spectrum ratio, the vertical to the horizontal component, and the important parameter resulting from this method is frequency, natural, and amplified. This is my presentation. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Fadila. Okay, it's 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Okay, it's good. So let us move on to the fifth presenter, Nabila Ashifa.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Is my screen there?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Yes. Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I
Salam.
would like to present the paper I'm currently working on. It is about analyzing physical parameter of soil, which the method used is downhole seismic, and the survey took place in Cilacap, Jawa Tengah. So to begin with, I will tell you a little bit about the purpose of this paper. There are three purposes, which are to determine physical parameter of soil in a certain area in Cilacap, Jawa Tengah. And the next one is to correlate the Poisson's ratio value of survey area. And the last one is to specify the type of soil based on its Poisson's ratio in Cilacap, Jawa Tengah. So as human beings, we are dependent on natural energy resources for our basic needs. The energy itself needs to be obtained beforehand. There are many ways to discover it. One of them is to use geophysical approaches of exploration. Downhole seismic method is an active seismic method, which means that this method relies on a seismic wave source from a sledgehammer hitting an iron plate. This schematic can be seen in figure 1, where the wave source from the shot or blasting point and the receiver of each geophone are placed at a certain depth below the ground surface. Here. Then the geophone will receive and detect the first wave that reaches the geophone without seeing the reflection of other waves. Those waves are pressure waves or P wave and shear waves or S waves. Moving on to the process of the data processing, first we obtain the PP and VS or a pseudo velocity in the form of a pressure wave, and the VS are a shear velocity from in the form of the shear wave. Next, we correlate the Poisson's ratio value. We match up the values of the PP and the VS to the value of the Poisson's ratio. And finally, we can determine the physical properties of the soil based on the Poisson's ratio that we have obtained, that we have correlated earlier. Finally, the benefit of the survey is to identify the type of soil in a certain area in Cilacap, Jawa Tengah. And then the following results can proceed to begin the exploration of Earth's natural resources. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's 2 minutes and 23 seconds. That is good. Okay, thank you, Nabila. We are now moving on to Muhammad Herdiansyah. Okay, Muhammad Herdiansyah will be our 6 presenters of Tuesday session. Okay, whenever you're ready, you may start.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Good morning. In this meeting, I will present my paper entitled Relationship of the DSF event in Indonesia with climate factors using the GCC GARS method. The existence of the COVID-19 outbreak in Indonesia, along with several new variants, the spread of which can affect various areas of life. Most people become more sensitive to health environment, especially in the context of preventing the spread of the virus. Uniquely, although the COVID-19 virus can pass from the human to human, this virus is actually an enveloped virus. Enveloped viruses are characterized by a nucleocapsid surrounded by an enveloped membrane. This causes the COVID-19 virus to be easily influenced by the environment. Similar to the COVID-19 virus, the dengue virus is also an unenveloped virus. Thus, basically, these two viruses are easily affected by their environment. Furthermore, The reason I choose the title is because there is a pattern that can be seen from the data, the incidence of DSF event in most provinces in Indonesia, especially provinces with relatively close distances. Climate change can alter the space and time dynamics of dengue ecology, potentially increasing the range of vectors in extending the duration of vectors activity and increasing the transmission period of mosquitoes. Weather in climate affects disease ecology at multiple levels. There's non-linear interrelationship, creating complex dynamics that are not easy to model. Human factors such as behavior, immunity, and socio-economic factors contribute to the complexity. The main purpose of this paper is to determine the climatic factors that have the most influence on the DSF event and their optimal values to the dynamic condition correlation method, and determine the prediction of the provinces with the highest DSF event in Indonesia using the GARS method. This study is expected to provide benefits in research on the factors that cause dengue hemorrhagic fever, especially climate factors, and provide input for designing the most effective public policies to anticipate a spike in cases of dengue hemorrhagic fever. Sorry, this is all, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Herdi. It's 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Okay, just consider good. Okay, all of the evaluation for each presenter will be done after the finishing of our 3 minutes presentation session today. I've gathered at this time I already gathered some beneficial feedback that we need to talk about later on in order for you to improve the quality of your presentation, because I've write some thing that need to be fixed later on, but it's still on the permissible limit, because we are still on the beginning level, under the beginning stage of our class. Okay. Okay, moving on to the 7th presenter. Can we ask Muhammad Ridho Nurul Ihsan as our 7th presenter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, ready with your slide, please. Okay. Let's determine description of graph.
Can I share my slide?
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Mr. Hari and all my friends. My name is Muhammad Ridho Nurul Ihsan. I would like to present my topic in the scientific communication, that is identification of geothermal potential using long offset resistivity tomography method. Indonesia has abundant geothermal potential because Indonesia is surrounded by the ring of fire, and as a result, there are many volcanoes formed in Indonesia. The geothermal potential in Indonesia is indicated by many active volcanoes that spread along across the country. Geothermal is one of the most renewable energy source. This is a method for geothermal exploration. Usually, the geothermal exploration is carried out using the MT method or Magnetoric because it is more accurate and has very deep penetration depth, and it can represent the geothermal properties. However, sometimes the MT survey is cost a lot of money. To reduce the cost for the data exploration, we can use the sensitivity tomography method. By extending the offset on the path from the usual geoelectrical surveying, the electrical current can reach deeper penetration depth and can map the wider and deeper area. This is an example of my research that's still ongoing with my advisor, Mr. Bagus and Danu Handoko. In the target field, the length of the offset is about 3 kilometers. Because this is still ongoing for the scientific communication, I will use the other field from the available paper for my final presentation paper. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Ridho Nurul Ihsan. Okay, moving on to our 8th presenter. I'm going to ask Ratih Pratiwi. Okay, we have seen your PPT, so you may start whenever you're ready.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ratih Pratiwi, and here I'm going to present to you my paper introduction entitled Monitoring Carbon Dioxide Storage and Enhanced Gas Recovery in Unconventional.
Could you make it full screen, please? Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ratih Pratiwi, and here I'm going to present to you my paper introduction entitled Monitoring Carbon Dioxide Storage and Enhanced Gas Recovery in Unconventional Chattanooga Shale Reservoir. As one of the sources of energy, natural gas can be used in various ways. One of the benefits of natural gas is to generate electricity. Natural gas accounted for 40% of total utility-scale U.S. electricity generation by all sectors, including industrial and commercial sectors in 2020. Based on the locations where natural gas is founded, there are several types of geological formations that trap natural gas, namely conventional and unconventional gas reserves. Conventional gas is trapped in naturally porous reservoir formations capped by impermeable rock layers where gas can move to the surface where intercepted by a well without needing to be pumped, whereas unconventional gas is formed in more complex geological formations that limit gas migration ability and thus requires different methods to extract gas. And shale gas is one type of unconventional gas. Natural gas production is one of the large point sources of carbon dioxide emissions, and here exists carbon capture and storage as the mitigation action for stabilization of atmospheric greenhouse gas concentrations. Carbon dioxide will be trapped in between the pore spaces during flooding process. And after decades of shale gas production, there are plenty of depleted shale gas reservoirs out there that could be prospect for storing carbon dioxide because of the extremely tight pore space that can act as both a storage reservoir and a seal. Furthermore, carbon dioxide injection can also improve gas recovery of the reservoirs. Okay, so the objective of this paper is to analyze the potential of carbon dioxide storage in shale formations while monitoring for enhanced gas recovery in unconventional shale reservoirs. And the selected study area was the Chattanooga Shale Formation, located in north central Tennessee. Successful carbon dioxide injection tests in shale formations are required to validate and promote the concept of enhanced shale gas recovery from carbon dioxide storage. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Rati. It's 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Oh. Okay, let us move on to the ninth presenter, which is Hans. Hans.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Hans Timothy. I am from Physics of Earth and Complex System Research Division. Today, I want to present about Papandayan volcano subsurface structure using Magnetoric method. First of all, the geophysical survey is intended to obtain information on the distribution of subsurface physical parameters. Several studies have shown a close relationship between resistivity and porosity and the temperature. The influence of each factor on the resistivity of rock formation is very complex because they can overlap. The purpose of using MT method for investigation Papandayan volcano is to know the subsurface of Papandayan volcano and also to find out whether this volcano is still useful or not. The research content. The MT method is a geophysical exploration method that utilizes natural electromagnetic fields. The EM field is generated by various physical processes, which are quite complex, so that the frequency spectrum is wide from 0.0001 to 100 Hz. The information on the conductivity of the medium contained in the MT data can be obtained from solving Maxwell equation. The Maxwell equation consists of 4 equations, that is 1 Gauss law for electricity, 2 Gauss law for magnets, 3 Ampere laws, and 4 Faraday laws. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Hans. So it's 2 minutes zip for Hans. So after Hans, we are going to ask dearly Aprilia as our 10th presenter.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, our respected lecturer, Mr. Hari Mahardika, and all my fellow friends. So my name is Derli Aprilia, and I'm going to present the introduction of my research with the title is Identification of Subsurface Structure Using Gravity Method in the Mojokerto Area. So, Indonesia is a large country and has a lot of wealth in it, where Indonesia is one of the countries that produce oil and gas. For example, in the Mojokerto area, located at 112 degree 0 minute to 112 degree 30 minute longitude and 7 degree 30 minute latitude. There is East Java Basin as one of the main producing hydrocarbons in Indonesia, especially the basin and the northern part as reported on the Geological Survey Institute of Indonesia website. Given the considerable energy potential in the East Java Basin, special attention is required in its management and utilization. To optimize the use of resources in the East Java Basin, especially in supporting the activities of the resource sector, it is necessary to follow up with data integrity and the information sector accurately. So, how do we find it? How do we find out what's under the surface of the Mojokerto area? By using the gravity method as an effective method used to know the structure of the underground surface presented in the form of anomaly gravity data. That's it, bogey anomaly. We can identify what is contained in the subsurface to prove whether it is true that in the Mojokerto area there are oil and gas elements. So that's all from me. Thank you. For further information about my research, please don't hesitate to contact me via email that I already put on this slide. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's Bouguer anomaly. Okay, Bouguer. Bouguer is French, so the name is not pronounced in English, but it's in French way. Bouguer. Okay, thank you, dearly. Let's move on to the 11th presenter, which is Anggita Anandakire.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Good morning. My name is Anggita Anandakire. Here I want to talk about my introduction scientific paper is about estimate 3D radiation dose for treatment planning system or TPS, linear use percentage depth dose, PDD data, and profile dose. Cancer is one word which is not strange for us. Yes, cancer is a disease characterized by the growth of cells that spread abnormally and uncontrollably. This often causes death for the sufferer. And for treat these cancer cells, radiotherapy is the answer. Radiotherapy is the most effective cytotoxic therapy available for the treatment of localized solid cancer and must be carried out properly and also directed through the TPS or treatment planning system, where later the TPS will evaluate the distribution of the right radiation dose for the target irradiation. Estimation of the radiation dose distribution was carried out, which was presented using an isodose curve, which would involve PDD data and dose profiles. The PDD data or percentage depth dose data will show the radiation distribution along the main axis of the incident like and will presented in percent, while the dose profile data show the radiation dose distribution on the horizontal or vertical axis, which is perpendicular to the direction of the incident like. The last research, all studies have only produced a 2D isodose curve. This can cause the radiation dose not to be inaccurate. In this research, radiation dose estimation is performed which show the distribution of a surface radiation dose for all depth variation on one curve, resulting in a 3D radiation dose estimate. So with this paper, we hope the radiation dose to the target can be carried out more accurately, especially on photon. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Ananda. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, for Ananda, let's move on to the 12th presenter, which is Rifki Nafis Mubarak.
Is it seen already, sir?
Yes.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Mr. Harry and everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rifki Nafis Mubarak from High Energy Theoretical and Instrumentation Group, Physics Study Program Institut Teknologi Bandung. Today, I will be introducing my final assignment entitled Water Waste Cleaning Robot for Pengelolaan Sampah or Waste Management Project in Citarum Harum Action. So, is Citarum River one of the most polluted river in the world?
Excuse me, could you make it full screen, please?
Okay.
There on the bottom right, yes, that one.
Should I continue or stop?
Yes, continue.
Okay. Although somewhat controversial, the Citarum River is indeed polluted. In fact, three out of first 5 related terms that came out if you search the dirtiest river in the world are Citarum. It is also displayed by the World Atlas sites and the Monash University from Australia. It's the Citarum River, the longest and largest river in the West Java, running 270 kilometers through thousands of communities, connect the people, villages, and landscape of the most populous province in Indonesia. Okay, so why is Citarum River is one of the most polluted river in the world? Because its quality across the most river has been deemed unsafe for human use, with Asian Development Bank finding levels of facial bacteria more than 5,000 times worse than the safe level, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency drinking. In 2018, the Indonesian government established the Citarum Harum 7-year river revitalization program with the goal of making the Citarum water drinkable by 2025. So what is the cause that Citarum River is one of the most polluted river? First, it's the larger population. It's crossed along the most populous province in Indonesia, which is West Java. It is sustained by the industries and household waste. And moreover, the waste management system in Indonesia is not so very good. It makes people waste their household wastes to the river. Okay, the program has been supported. This program, Citarum Harum, has been supported by the International Monetary Funds and the Asian Development Bank, and include reforesting surrounded mountains, extracting toxic sediment, regulating wastewater discharge, and environmental education project. There is 12 program in Citarum Harum, and my final assignment is included in pengelolaan sampah, or in English we said that waste management. In waste management program, consists what the tools are used and the handle or to handle waste on the surface of the water, which is water waste cleaning robot. The waste cleaning robot used in the river where there is waste debris in the water body, in the surface water of body, which are want to be removed. The robot is containing water wheels, drive-in transport segment, which accumulate and adds the wastage. And then we use the robot part which make the power source of the robot comes from solar panel, which will power the motors and sensor and microcontroller. The microcontroller used in this robot is Arduino Uno by pairing various sensors such as proximity sensors and so on, and make the robot use effectively. I think that's all about my introduction. I hope you can understand. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Okay, thank you, Rifki. Okay, it's 2 minutes. Okay, it's 3 minutes zip, which is good. 3 minutes short. And after Rifki, I'm going to ask Muzaki as
Yes, sir.
our 13th presenter.
Yes, sir. I will share screen. Is my share? I can see it, sir.
Yes.
Good morning. Thank you for your attention.
Okay,
My name
morning.
is Muzaki. I'm from Instrumentation and Computational Physics Research Division. I will present about my paper, Low-Cost Tensile Strength Tester for Nanofiber Mechanical Properties. Nanofiber has one-dimensional size between 1 to 100 nanometer. Nanomaterial has extraordinary mechanical and chemical properties. Among all nanomaterial, nanofiber is one of the nanomaterial that has the most application. Nanofiber are used in air and water filter, protective clothing, bandage, and drug delivery. To know that nanofiber is strong enough to use on that application, we need to test mechanical properties of nanofiber. Mechanical properties that we find are stress, strain, ultimate tensile strength, and Young modulus. There were two types of machine, namely hydraulically power and electromagnetically power engine. The hydraulically power use pressurized air and electromagnetic power use magnetic motor to pull the sample. This machine has to clamp, load cell, linear gauge, electronic board, and graphical user interface. The purpose of this machine, of this paper, are to find optimal load cell so the load will not be too big and it will not detach force when test ongoing, or too small and it will be overload. And then we will find gauge length of actuator and design efficient and low noise electronic board. And the last is how to treat nanofiber when it tests an area of fiber in the test. Thank you for your attention. That is my introduction.
Okay, thank you, Muzaki. Let us move on to the 14th presenter, Arfian Pratama. Arfian Pramasta.
Yes, sir. Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes.
Okay, let me start. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Morning. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arfian Pramasta from Physics of Earth and Complex Systems Research Division. So today I would like to present about industrial application of digital rock image technology. So today there is 4 topics. First is subsurface reservoir characteristics, then types of core analysis, digital rock image technology, then the purpose of this research. So the first is subsurface reservoir characteristics. So subsurface reservoir characteristics can be classified into 2 types. The first is data obtained from surface, and the second one is data obtained from wells. The difference between data obtained from surface and wells is in the results. Data obtained from surface, the results is low resolution but have large coverage. On the other hand, data obtained from wells have high resolution but low coverage. The example of data obtained from surface is seismic data, electromagnetic data, gravimetric data. And data from obtained from wells, example is well logs, transient pressure testing, reservoir performance, and course and drills cutting. So this is just the example of gravimetric data inversion and well logs data. After that, we talk about types of core analysis, which is divided into 2. two types. The first is conventional core analysis, and the second one is spatial core analysis. The difference is conventional core analysis is more simple than spatial core analysis in terms of the properties. The properties such as porosity, permeability, and grain density is including in conventional core analysis. And for capillary pressure, relative permeability, and electrical properties is including in spatial core analysis. So digital image technology have the aim of digital image technology is to derive a digital description of reservoir rocks and then perform numerical simulations of transport process on this obtained digital structure. Digital rock image technology divided into two parts, imaging and modeling. So the purpose of this research is to provide an overview of the current state of digital rock image technology with emphasis on industrial application. And the second one is presenting different methods to obtain a digital model of pore space from pore scale image alongside the strengths and weakness. So in this research, we're not going to talk deep, but we're going to talk wide. So I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for Arfian. Okay, moving on to the 15th presenter, Rika Rahayu.
Okay, sir. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rika Rahayu from Institute Teknologi Bandung. In this occasion, I will present the introduction of the paper review that I have done. The title is Figure Acceleration Analysis of 2000 until 2020 earthquake data using ST4 method in West Sulawesi. Okay, first, earthquake in Indonesia. In this picture, we can see that there have been many earthquakes that have occurred from the beginning of 2021 until October 2021. The question is, why is Indonesia quite prone to earthquake? This is because Indonesia is located on the Asia-Pacific volcanic road, which is quite prone to seismic activity. And then Indonesia is also traversed by three world tectonic plates that continue to move relative to one another, namely the Indo-Australian, Asian, and Pacific plates. Next, earthquake in West Sulawesi. West Sulawesi is one of the provinces in Indonesia which is located on the island of Sulawesi. And West Sulawesi is a province that is prone to earthquake. According to Badan Meteorologi, Klimatologi, and Geofisika data, West Sulawesi, especially in Mamuju and Majene Regency, have occurred at least 7 destructive earthquakes that caused a lot of damage and caused dozens of people to die. In this picture shows the earthquake in Mamuju, January 2021. Well, one of the parameters that can determine the size of the damage caused by an earthquake is a ground acceleration, or PGA. PGA is an indicator of the ground acceleration that occurs in place due to an earthquake and can be determined by using an accelerometer measurement and also by calculation with an empirical approaches such as the Steva, Donovan, McGraw, Richter, and so on. This picture shows the accelerometer in BMKG Goa, and in this study, the figure acceleration value will be analyzed using the Steva method based on earthquake data in West Sulawesi. The formula of the Steva method can we see in this slide, where A is the PGA value in gal, M is magnitude earthquake magnitude, and R is the hypocenter distance in kilometer. Well, that's my presentation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so it's 2. Okay, thank you, Rivka. So that let's moving on to the 60th presenter, Muhammad Raka Fauzan.
Test. Hello.
Yes.
Can see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Raka Fauzan. I'm from Physics of Earth and Global System Research Division. Today I want to talk about introduction of my research paper. It is water saturation modeling and estimation of elastic properties in porous rock models. Okay, so first in exploration of geophysics, physical property of rock is really important thing to understand, to know what happened under the surface of the earth. The physical property of rock, such as elastic properties, electric properties, magnetic properties, can be affected by several things like microstructure complexity, pore geometry, and water saturation. In this paper, we're gonna focus more on the relation of elastic properties and water saturation. Next, saturation elasticity. So water saturation can be described as formation of water in undisturbed zone and the ability of a solid to hold a great amount of water under specific condition. In this case, we can see on figure 2, it's water saturation model. Water saturation can define as ratio of water to pore volume. In this case, it's water and CO2, the volume of the pore. Next is elasticity. Elasticity can be described as property by which material regain their original shape and size after a removal of deforming force. The method to help us study the relation of water saturation and physical and elastic properties is we will use computation of elastic property using numerical modeling. The water saturation model will be analyzed by a numerical method called finite element method that developed by Garsbocci in 1998. Finite element method will discretize the model into smaller element that consists several nodes. In this case, in figure 4, we have quartz 3D model. We will turn it into the element and the nodes in figure 5. Then, after several equations, the solution approach is determined by the value of this node. That's all from me. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Raka. So by that, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is going to be presented by Aleta Laifania.
Please wait, sir. Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes.
Ini udah.
Okay, your slide is good. You may start your talk now.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Hari and my friends. My name is Aleta, and here I'm going to talk about the introduction of my topic, which is fundamental and technical analysis of stock prices at PT Jasa Marga. To begin, we all know that businesses must develop themselves in order to compete in today's market. But how? By applying modern management and competitive strategies. A high stock price is one of the competitive strategies that indicates that the businesses that owns it is more valuable. The stock price is one indicator of a company's management success. If a company's stock price grows regularly, investors and potential investors believe the company is effective at managing its business. So why should we learn about this topic? We can discover and employ the most effective strategy for analyzing stock prices. When it comes to evaluating stock prices, there are two approaches. The first is fundamental analysis, which is works by estimating the market's fair share and forecasting future values by combining past data. Before making investment decisions, fundamental analysis evaluates qualitative parameters such as the economic environment, industry performance, and business performance of the company. Finally, the objective of the study is not only to identify a successful company and profitable business, but it's also to find businesses that are worth more than investors expect. The second approach is one of the most popular methods for investors to make investing decisions is through technical analysis. Technical analysis is a means of examining and predicting price movement in the financial markets. Finding the optimum trading price is one of the benefits of employing technical analysis, which is difficult with a buy and hold strategy from years ago. So how exactly does it work? It works by relying on prior knowledge of prices and related data to predict future values by using mathematical techniques. Technical analysis has more advantages than fundamental analysis since it can provide good entry points, also known as buying points, and exit points, also known as selling points. Another benefit of using technical analysis is that it clearly defines the target, which is the amount of profit we should get in a specific period of time, as well as the stop loss point, which is the lowest price point before we sell the stock. This may help us avoid losing too much money. Finally, technical analysis can give early warning signs of price changes, allowing us to become more attentive and know what to do next. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for the attention. Good morning and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's 2 minutes and 55 seconds for Aleta. Okay, thank you, Aleta. Let us move on to the next presenter, which is Zafir. Okay, Zafiri Fadli Jauhari. Zafiri.
Hello. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zafir Fali Jauhari. Today, I'm going to present my introduction part about calculating optimal price in gacha game with prospect theory. So, in the first slide, I'm going to compare a simple. I'm going to do a simple comparison between trade, gamble, and gacha. So, as you can see, we have the same initial condition in these three system. For as in trade, you have 100,000 rupiah, and you do trading, you get the product. So I can say that it's equal in value, and there's no output variation. As in gamble, there's you have 100,000 rupiah, and you do gamble, and you either get 0 rupiah or you either get 1 million rupiah. So there's a clear increase or decrease of value and several output variations. And lastly, in gacha, we also have 100,000 rupiah, and you do gacha, you either get common rarity, which is the worst rarity, or you either get legendary rarity, where it's the best one. So there's a vague increase or decrease of value, and there's also several output variations. So how do we calculate that? So to calculate that, I'm going to use prospect theory. And it's a theory that describes how individuals assess their loss and gain perspectives in an asymmetric manner. So here's some example. This is one of the card that sold so well, and this card sold for $150,000 or about 2.1 billion rupiah, while the average price of one card is only $3 or about 65,000 rupiah. So increase of value is around 5 million %. So the purpose of this research is to find optimal price in gacha using prospect theory. And what I mean by optimal price is how to gain maximal value while spending minimum money. So the more money, the less money you spend, the more value you get. So I think that's all from me. Thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, it's 2-minute presentation, so it's good. Okay, after Zafiri, we are going to listen to Jovan presentation.
Wait, sir. Okay. Hi everyone. Good morning. My name is Jovan Ezra Yahya, and today I'm going to present to you about my thesis introduction. And technology is something that cannot be separated from human and has a very high impact on humankind development. Every day, people compete to create an innovation to ease life of humans. One of the technologies that continues to develop is navigation technology. It helps us access unfamiliar environments, and oftentimes we use global positioning system or GPS as navigation technology. And as you all guys can see, right here is ITB physics building map, and it's quite wide. Our purpose is we want to make it easier for people to navigate inside ITB physics building. And with our project, they won't get lost and won't have any difficulties locating their destination. Navigation is an important aspect for human activities. I summarize 3 important things that navigation system must have. Knowing our current location, determine the destination, and estimate travel time and distance between our current location and the destination. Global positioning system space and GPS has capabilities to determine the user's position and provide navigation to a location. However, the use of GPS has especially in solid walls or structures, and such become unreadable in indoor environment. Therefore, it is necessary to have other methods better capabilities than GPS. As indoor navigation system, which I got disconnected. Test. Hello. Sorry, sir, I got disconnected before. Okay. So indoor positioning system is a system of network connected device which is used for wireless locationing of objects inside building. And it consists of 3 distinct elements: dynamic platform, location devices, and mobile application. And there are multiple positioning techniques that use Wi-Fi technology. Receive signal strength indicator and fingerprinting method is one of them. Fingerprinting is a method use the signal strength data obtained with RSSI that is stored in database to locate the coordinates of the client device. The data obtained in TT or message query transport telemetry. Then the signal is converted to distance using log normal shadow model method. The study area is going to be divided into several areas, and the determined RSSI value in each area is saved into the fingerprint of each area. And each area will compare the stored RSSI value with the RSSI value that is read in real time by the user. And in this feature, these features are displayed in form of an application on an Android smartphone as the visual data interface on smartphone. In this study, we are using Android Studio software to build the apps. Thank you guys for listening. Yes. Hello. Tes tes.
Sir, I think your microphone is muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let us thank Jovan for his presentation, even though there are some technical difficulties in the process, but generally the talk itself is done in a good way. So without further ado, let us move on to the 20th presenter, which is Ayunda Putri.
Okay, sir. Okay, hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Ayunda Putri Melina, and the title of my presentation is Consumer Behavior Analysis on E-commerce Shopee using Agent-Based Modeling Method. So the first one, I want to tell you the background of this research. As you know, that the global population is currently facing one of the most life-threatening disasters since the last century and generally referred to as COVID-19. And to tackle the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic, several national governments have implemented lockdown restrictions to reduce the risk of infection. Also, in Indonesia, we have many regulations to reduce the risk of this pandemic, such as PSBB and PPKM. And the coronavirus impact is on all aspects of life, and one of them is on how people fulfill their needs. The coronavirus pandemic has pushed many people to make their purchases online, as many physical retail outlets across the world are either closed due to lockdown measures or have limited capacities to maintain social distancing. And the thing that interesting to observe from this phenomenon is the behavior of customers who use and make online purchasing process through Shopee. I choose Shopee because on 2020, from iPrice, Shopee is the most visited platform in Indonesia. And the method that I choose to observe this phenomenon is agent-based modeling. And agent-based modeling is a modeling approach in analyzing a complex system in the real world and can be used to analyze the behavior of a group of people and show the interaction of agents in a particular environment. In this research, customer will considered as agent, and agent interact with environment. And the purpose of my research is the first one, to develop customer behavior model for an optimal marketing strategy by modeling customer behavior. The second one is to offer a better service for customer. And the last one is to help increase product sales. And I guess that is all from me, and thank you for your attention. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just 2 minutes zip. So we can move on to the 21st presenter. Okay, presenter number 21 is Hauda Alivia.
Yes, sir. This slide you can see, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Halda Alivia. So today I would like to present about my topic. The title is COVID-19 detection based on chest X-ray results using Python. And the background, the COVID-19 pandemic is global threat, and the flat average increase in active cases every day is around 1,000 cases. The high number of cases that are not proportional to the number of health people. The statistic about it, health and detected COVID. Various doctor and researchers are trying to look for accurate COVID-19 detection tools such as PCR and antigen. The doctor will insert a swab device that resembles a long cotton bud down the nose to the nasofaring, such as the picture 3. And the process of early diagnosis or screening is not possible using last method, using like PCR and antigen, and this the new method successfully penetrate chest X-ray image. This strategy utilizes the COVID-19 radiographic dataset, has 3,000 chest X-rays such as normal, COVID-19, and pneumonia. And the research, this method would overcome this by making an analysis to help detect COVID-19 through the artificial intelligence AI feature using of convolutional neural network CNN. This data in the form of chest X-ray image can be processed using deep learning with the CNN method that produce the best accuracy will be implemented. And this is AI using CNN from picture 5. And thank you for viewing this presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, 2 minutes for Hauda. And therefore, we could move on to the 22nd presenter, Fadila Rizalul Yahya.
Is my screen already in full?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Mr. Harry Martika and friends. So my name is Fadila Rizal Yahya from Physics of Earth and Complex System Research Division. Now I want to present you about my introduction of my research, that is analysis of Markov chain duplication on stock trend, study case of PTHM Sampurna. Stock market in general is one of the attractive fields for investment, especially in Indonesia. Indonesia's stock market has continued gradually to move to its best. As we can see here in the slide, over a year in 2016, about 25% of Indonesia's stock market rises in the total number of single investor identification. SID stands for Single Investor Identification, is the investor identity number published by KSEI to people registered as investor. Based on this data, people are now looking at investment on stock market and could make choice to do a good investment. Next, so to consider stock market for investor take the opportunity, one of method is based on future expectation of the stock market. Therefore, the study conduct the analysis of stock market trend movement. One of the methods is using Markov chain model. Markov chain model has been widely applied to analyze stock trend. Markovian model is determined using probability transition matrix and initial state value. The model is also provide an overview by stock price, present state value about the movement in the future. That's all for my introduction. Thanks for attention. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Fadila. Okay, so the next presenter will be Nabila.
Okay, sir.
Okay. COVID-19 has become a big problem until today, so I would like to analyze the effect of physical distancing on the COVID-19 spread using agent-based modeling. But before that, good morning, Mr. Hari and everyone. My name is Nabila Safli from Physics of Earth and Complex System Research Division, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, ITB. So, coronavirus disease or COVID-19, according to the World Health Organization, is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. COVID-19 has hit almost all over the world, including Indonesia, since 2020. The coronavirus was declared as a global pandemic in 2019 because of its very fast spread. According to COVID-19.go.id, Indonesia has reached more than 4 million cases and more than 140,000 people have died because of COVID-19 until last month. The implementation of new policies such as lockdown and social distancing was carried out by many countries, including Indonesia, to reduce the spread rate of COVID-19. The behavior of the COVID-19 spreading agents can be simulated using an agent-based model. Agent-based model, or ABM, are computer models that attempt to capture the behavior of individuals within an environment. Agent-based model can be used to simulate an interaction in a population so we can analyze the small changes in behavior. ABM simulation has been widely used in various fields and applications from social science, politics, and economics, including simulation of evacuation models, traffic, flow management customer, stock market, etc., and so on. Yes, of course, the spread of the virus also can be simulated using the agent-based modeling. COVID-19 simulation have been carried out by several researchers. One of them is Valdez in 2020 that observed some of the COVID spreading characteristics. As you can see on the screen, he created an instructive agent-based model for the simulation of disease spread and limited hospital capacities. The phenomenon of social distancing, when we do not go to the public in order to reduce the spread of the virus, will be proven from the simulation with some assumption and scenarios. This research aims to prove whether the physical distancing will affect the spread of COVID-19 or not, and also to understand the spread of COVID-19 disease. So maybe that's all for the introduction part from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay, press it. Okay, after Nabila, we should have our last presenter, Muhri Iza. Muhri Iza in the classroom. Okay, final call for Muhri Iza to be ready for his presentation. Okay, going once, going twice. Going thrice. Okay, if there are no Muhri Iza in the classroom today, I would like to thank all of the presenters that have already talked about their selected topics, which is very impressive for you to be able to deliver the introduction part. Although it's still the introduction part, but most of you did a good job in doing so. In Thursday, instead of having the second session of 3 minutes talk, we're going to evaluate the result of your evaluation. Okay, not to evaluate the result of evaluation, to evaluate the the talk that you already given today. There are several notes that I can talk later on, but let us congratulate the class and our staff for preparing a very good session today. So without further ado, because we are already at 15 to 9, I'm going to conclude our session today, and see you all again in Thursday for the evaluation and the explanation of the next topic related to the how we style our slide design. Okay, but before that, I'm going to stop the recording